So how many years have you been in advertising?
I began my career in advertising on, this is great, I began my career in advertising on April 1st, 1985.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
So what, are you saying that your family couldn't believe you? Your parents couldn't believe you?
Perhaps it means my entire career has been a funny, practical joke. But that was the day I began. And how strange it was. I felt it was odd to begin one's work life on April 1st. But I lived many years in Japan, and that's the traditional starting day for new company hires. And it's less odd to me now than it used to be. But, yep, for those of you who are in on the joke, April 1st, that's when I started my career.
So with all those long, hard working hours, you mean your wife never complained?
My wife does complain, and I complain too. It's not fun to work till 2 or 3 in the morning and be in a studio like this shooting, or being in an editing studio editing, or working behind a computer to prepare an idea or do a website or something like that. But when you're constantly on a deadline and you can't control your own workflow, and the people who are requesting that workflow see it all as ideas and somehow feel that it can be done faster, well, the world is flat, and you either have to go along, or someone else is going to be asked to come up with those ideas.
Right.
So yes, my wife does complain. I complain. There are evenings when my children call me at night at the office to say "Good night, Daddy," and that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But it's never as if anybody lied to me. I remember the CEO of my very first company that I worked at, he called all employees together, and his words still ring in my ears. He looked at us all and he said, "Advertising is a very stern mistress. You either love her and go along with this, or maybe you won't like this career, but that's just the way it is." Now, this was back in the 80s, and it's hard for me to say whether things are more or less difficult than they were back then. I would say it's pretty much the same.
What is it about advertising that really fascinates me? Fascinates you? What is it?
What fascinates me is the ability of an idea to truly make a difference. I mean, there are advertising campaigns that people, in these days, people see something they like as an advertising, piece of advertising. Usually it's a piece of video, audio video creative, maybe a television commercial. And they love to spread it out and share it with their friends. That enthusiasm for that 30 seconds of creativity that inspires you so much, usually through laughter, but not always. Sometimes it's through pure craft or through the message. You're inspired enough to want to spread it and share it. More than that, those cases of creativity that really break through and make a difference. There have been election campaigns and governments changing because of advertising. The most famous comes from my own company, Saatchi Saatchi, that got Margaret Thatcher elected all those decades ago with a famous campaign called "Labor Isn't Working." And in the late 1970s, 1980s, the American campaign was dictated by the Wendy's campaign, "Where's the beef?"
Yes, I'll always remember that one.
Absolutely. So
absolutely.
That's fascinating. But you know what? That's not enough to make you want to get up and go to the office every day and give you the fuel to work till whatever o'clock in the morning. It has to be this desire to use your own creativity towards a productive end. And in my business, the productive end is to grow the brand, business, and reputation of our clients. And if you really don't know whether you're making that happen every day, or you don't believe the creativity that you're preparing makes that happen day in, day out, then you kind of lose your enthusiasm. So you ask me what I love, one is making that happen each and every day, but that what really inspires you is trying to hit those home runs out of the park, the ones that people talk about, people share, people spread. That's like everybody's dream.
I know. So what do you think about Taiwanese people's, in terms of their expertise in advertisement? What have you seen these years?
I like to say that the consumer marketing culture in Taiwan started in the 1970s. Now, I wasn't here, and I probably don't have the right to say that, but my reading and my history of business here in Taiwan, the history of my own company in Taiwan, all of those things suggest that, boom, things started in earnest right around then. And that gives Taiwan an advantage, a jump over many other countries in the region, because you could say that Korea got started at about the same time. I would. Thailand, I would say, a little bit after that. Malaysia after that. So just as Taiwan becomes one of the 7 tigers and is classified as being one of the 7 economic tigers of Asia, you see this flowering and this growth and this explosion and this investment in consumer marketing and ideas and advertising. Think of the know-how that creates, and now you see that the leaders of the marketing community in other Asian countries, including China, are populated by people who started their careers here. So the business here is well developed. You heard me use a term earlier in this conversation, the world is flat. I'm referring to a book.
Yes.
So the marketing culture here has a lot of that in it. The tough, price-oriented, get it done tomorrow, turn it over fast. Pressure that all Taiwanese business leaders feel certainly affects us. We don't sit around at my company drinking cappuccinos and looking at the stars. We have a lot to do, and we have to do it right away. So that's one thing that's a little bit different about Taiwan and the marketing community compared to, say, one of the European capitals, or even New York, or Los Angeles or San Francisco. But a vibrant community with a jump on many other Asian markets. And because of Taiwan's background in radio and film production, and the famous programs that used to be distributed all through Asia Pacific, you've got a very vibrant creative culture.